Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on this link. This is the introduction to the IE business case competition that is hosted obviously by IE University, but also supported by Seed Global Education. My name is 𝐫𝐞𝐰𝐚𝐫𝐬. I'm one of the co-founders of Seed Global Education. What we do is we try and help universities like IE University reach to students like you and empower them to stand out on a global stage. So in this video, we're going to take you through the details of the case competition. All your questions that you might have had about the case competition will be answered today. Remember, the winner of this case competition gets 100% scholarship to the IE summer school, which means you will be spending at least 3 weeks at IE, which is one of the top universities in Madrid, at this summer school, absolutely free of cost. You won't have to spend for any bit of the summer school. You'll also not be paying for your flights. So we at Seed Global Education have taken one step ahead and will be also taking care of your flights if you will be selected as one of the winners to participate in the case competition. So go through this rest of this video. What I'm going to do in this is I'm going to give you a brief introduction right now about the case, about IE University, and then we had held a masterclass with Professor Jaime. I'm going to give a little bit of an introduction of him, and then I'm going to let him take over the whole masterclass, and he'll also introduce the case competition. So we'll be sharing some details on that as well, and I'm going to be coming back into this later on in the video. If you have any questions that you might have in your head, all of those questions will be answered because I'm going to take these points. So a little bit first about IE University. It's based in Madrid, Spain, one of the top ranked universities across multiple rankings like QS and FT rankings or Financial Times rankings. They've got programs in business management. They have the master in management. They've got the MBA as well for candidates with at least 3 years of work experience after graduation. But apart from just the business programs, they have a lot of specialized master's programs as well. So if you're interested in studying anything to do with marketing communication, be it, customer experience and innovation, or digital marketing, or market research, consumer behavior, they have a program for that as well. They also have programs in business tech and analytics, like the digital business program, data analytics program, if you're looking to. If you want to study finance, they've got programs in finance. They've got programs in talent and leadership as well. So they have a lot of specialized master's programs that you would be interested in the business, science, technology domain. They also have a school of architecture, law, and a school of public policy if you are interested in any of those programs. So I would recommend to go check out IE University's master's programs. The link is in the description or in the caption as well. So moving to what the business case competition is, you'll know little more about the business case competition in the next few slides of the video, where Professor Jaime will take you through that. But just a quick brief, this business case competition is about P&G, that's Procter and Gamble, that needs to design a campaign to communicate social and environmental action for India. So the objective is for you to help them improve the awareness of sustainability actions as well as the corporate image of the company in the Indian region. So only in the Indian region. And we don't have a very large budget for it. We have a budget of approximately 25 lakhs. So in your final presentation, do let us know how you would be spending INR 25 lakhs, or approximately 30,000 euros is what we've put as a budget. I know it comes to about 26, but just for a simple mathematics perspective, we've kept it to INR 25 lakhs. Professor Jaime, who you'll see on the next screen, has been in the FMCG and the pharma sectors for the last 2 decades. He's been working in product development, research and development, consumer behavior, market research, and marketing for companies like P&G itself and Johnson and Johnson. So he's going to be kind of like an ex-P&G employee who's going to be judging this competition and who's going to be deciding who is going to be the winner of this competition. And the second place also gets some scholarships. If they are looking to apply to any of the IE Masters programs, you get a flat 20% scholarship as well. Now, Professor Jaime's passion really lies in consumer behavior and what drives these behaviors. He's completed his degree in psychology, and then now he has been a professor for the last few years. Now, at IE University, he's also been the academic director of the Masters in Market Research and Consumer Behavior program. It's one of the most special master's programs offered by IE University. A lot of students from India, just like you, go to this particular program, and there are people from all over the world. So just one thing about IE University, all the programs are taught in English. IE is known for its diversity. If you want to create a network of people from all around the world, and I mean literally all around the world, because IE has about 30 plus global offices in Japan, in South Korea, in Peru, in a lot of places in South America, in the US, in different parts of Europe. At least 120 plus nationalities are on the IE campus as of today as well. So if you're looking at a diversity in your master's program, IE is the place to go. And the post-study work opportunities are also quite interesting, and quite a few of them are there on offer for even graduates that are coming outside of Spain. So you have a great chance. So now I'm going to let the next few slides go over to Professor Jaime, who will take you through the masterclass and, most importantly, also introduce the business case competition. Here's a quick tip before I let you go. I would recommend go through the masterclass as well, because the masterclass gives you insights on what other companies have done to solve the same problem. So he's giving examples of Nike, he's giving examples of some other companies as well. So go ahead and check it out. I'll see you a little later on if you have any questions, and I'll be answering most of them a little later on as well. Thank you, and see you.
It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to start my master challenge. So if you just can confirm that you can see my screen and that everything is working smoothly.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we are going to be covering. You already introduced me, so no need for going here. But yes, Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson. Today I'm going to be acting more as a Procter & Gamble alumni, as a former employee, because we are going to be asking about a case, and we are going to be starting with some introduction about what's marketing, and later on we're going to apply it to this specific challenge where Procter & Gamble needs your help. Okay, I think that you have access to the chat, so if in any moment there's any question or anything not clear, let me know. And also we are securing some time at the end of the masterclass for questions. Okay, this first part is going to be like a masterclass, like a normal class at the IE University. And the case is going to be about marketing. And we are having amazing number of participants, 285. I'm sure that we're having some marketing experts there. I'm sure that we're having some people that doesn't have a clue. So I'm going to start with the basics about marketing, which is the science of exploring, creating, and delivering value to a specific market to generate profit. Okay, here there are critical things: the value, which is going to be the value proposition at the end, and also target marketing, which is going to be selecting and segmentation. The process that we normally do for marketing, it's about, and you have a couple of academic propositions there, is first you normally start for understanding the context. You understand the competitors, you understand the consumers, you understand the partners, you understand a little bit the context. And then you start working on a strategy, and then using the marketing mix in order to define the final tactics. Then you execute and you control and measure so you can come back. This is more or less what the journey. And the journey of a marketing plan, a proposal for a marketing activity, it starts with the who. Okay, that's always the first strategic question. We don't start thinking about what we want to say or how we are going to say it. We always start with the who. Because if I ask you, out of the 290 people, why you want to go to Madrid for academic purposes, you can imagine that there's going to be plenty of different reasons there and plenty of different motivations, personalities. So the first thing when you are going to try to develop a marketing activity is to understand who. And because we are different, we need to segment and identify a target group. So out of the people that you see in the slide, who is going to be your target? Because your products, your services, your communication might be totally different depending on who you want to target. Normally, we segment people based on geography. That's how big companies do it. Demographic, socio-demographic, age, gender, in some cases they are working or they are not working. Psychographic, it's about what you like, what you think, your preferences. A lot of the attitudinal aspects are going to be here. And finally, behavior. We segment people based on what they do. This is very easy in the digital marketing. Why do you think that we use behavioral segmentations for digital marketing activities? Do you have an idea? In the past, okay, hey, a lot of ideas there. To target users based on behavior, how people are reacting, very good points. Personalization, Moksha is pointing about one of the critical reasons. Yes, we are talking about vehicles already, SEO, emotional connects, habits to create user profile, different mindsets. Emotions, we're talking a lot about emotions. You are bringing very valid perspectives. But the real explanation on top of what you're saying is that now we can, because of data, because of all the behaviors that we can collect online. It's very difficult to understand behaviors offline. Those tests are expensive and it's difficult to measure what you do in real life. But it's very easy to understand and measure what you are doing in an online context. Okay, so that's why behavioral is getting a very popular segmentation technique. Thanks a lot for amazing participation, and you said very relevant things. So this is typically one of the top questions because you're going to have a lot of options for segmenting. Procter & Gamble normally segments on need basis, okay? Needs. So you need to go back about what is the motivation, what is the need, so that you can segment them. Once you're clear about the who, once you're clear about your segment, then you need to talk about value proposition, which is going to be expecting how the P&G product, for instance, is solving the problem, the benefits that you can expect, and why they should select Procter & Gamble products versus the rest. And this, of course, value proposition plays, as many of you were saying, in the emotional benefit area. It's not only giving reasons, but also the emotional connection. Okay, so this is the second stage of the strategy. So first we segment, then we define the what, and of course, then we need to communicate. No, we need to develop activate the execution. To activate the execution, you need to select the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, and promotion. That's going to be critical because you need to define those tactic elements of your proposal in the marketing plan. It's going to be which product you're going to communicate, at which price, where you're going to be selling it, and also the overall communication strategy. And for that, you need to work with funnels. No? And in the past, we were working in the communication funnels. We are working with this AIDA moment, which puts a lot of focus on first, you need to build the attention, then the interest, desire, and action. And in the promotion part, how do you do that? There's many different vehicles. Some of you were suggesting SEO in the previous chat. Some of you were mentioning other channels. So this is a macro perspective on the different channels to communicate. You can use your own channel, own media. Imagine your website. You can put a message in your website. You can pay for it, advertisement, but also you can earn media, which is word of mouth or impacts that you're getting from other people, like could be tweets, reviews, recommendations, something that we're going to be covered in a minute. Because, hey, We need to win in these uncertain times, know how to develop that strategy. And for that, I'm going to be telling you 6 critical things to drive a successful strategy, which might be able to help you for your challenge. I'm going to cover them describe them in a brief way, because I think that might be able to help you. And then we're going to be explaining about this challenge, okay? Because we told you that there's a sponsorship, that you might get some prizes, but you still don't know what you need to do. So I will describe that in a minute. The first trend is attention economy. Brands and companies struggle a lot to get the attention of their target audience, because in the past, everything was about getting the money with the value proposition, but now it's about getting the attention. And the attention is very difficult because it's limited. I don't want to ask, but out of the 342 people, many of you are not paying a lot of attention to the masterclass. Some of you, I'm sure you are, but some of you are not, because we have a lot of demands for our attention. You might be doing some other things. You might be preparing something else at work or preparing another exam. So it's difficult to get the attention from your target audience, because when we are consuming media, for instance, we don't pay attention to the TV. That's the new reality of people consuming media in the world. People are watching at the same time the mobile phones. People are watching at the same time a laptop. People are paying attention to a tablet. This is the new reality. So if you want to impact with a communication in that primary TV, you can imagine how difficult this is going to be. Double and triple screen is the new format. But also think about, even when we are working, those are the new signals that you're finding in Europe in some cities. Because watch out, driver, because those people are going to be crossing the street. So people are overloaded also when they are working. So it's not really a great moment to communicate, because it's going to be difficult to get the attention. Because it's difficult to get the attention, as you can imagine, the effect on brands is thousands of impacts. Most of the advertisement, we don't pay attention, overloaded with information, so very difficult to focus, and also addicted to this level of stimuli. So for a marketing campaign to win, for a communication campaign to win, needs to be easy to digest. The message needs to be super easy. We also need more intensity. We need to shout the message and repeat it. And the best example of this is clickbait. Anybody knows what clickbait is? What is? If somebody wants to describe it in the chat, I need some help. Yeah, you cannot ignore. No, something very tempting. YouTube is the best example. Fooling, catchy. Yes, exactly. So this is the ultimate expression on how companies are using dirty tricks to capture your attention. I'm not saying that you should develop a clickbait campaign, not at all, but you should consider this as an inspiration about how the communication works today. And here you have some examples, okay? You won't believe what Emma Roberts has done. McDonald's just admitted the unthinkable. So those things that those companies are getting money when you click on it, and that's because they're using a lot of this short, intense, very appealing message that you want to click. If you are on Twitter and you want to have some fun, you can follow this company, Stop Clickbait. You can follow them because they're making fun of the companies that use clickbait on Twitter. Did you trust what I just said? Did you trust that this battle for attention? I'm sure that many of you are not sure, because today we do not trust easily. The consumers, we are having very serious trust problems, because you can imagine, we trust less in big companies. You trust less Volkswagen. You trust less top pharma companies. You trust less Procter & Gamble. What about the media? Do you trust the media? You know, fake news. This has changed big time. We don't trust a lot communication and the press and the TV stations. So do you think we trust business leaders? Not really. This global survey was showing that business leaders was almost as bad as government ministers and politicians in general, globally. And if you think about India, you are not doing so bad, actually. No, in India, business leaders are not seen as terrible in terms of trust. But there is a trend, more and more, we don't trust business leaders. Yeah, people are saying that, you see, that I'm not trusting anything, not the politicians. There's a lot of people saying they don't trust anybody. So who do we trust? Who do you trust? Yourself, that depends on your personality. Personal, hey, friends, beautiful, thanks, Altamash. Friends and family are always, some religious people also, doctors, parents, friends and family are always strong. You have a strong trust of them. If somebody tells, if a very good friend of you tells you, you need to go and try this new restaurant, we go. Family, yes, we trust our brothers and sisters and our parents. We trust them. We trust you all. Thanks a lot for that. But most of you will still do not trust academics, okay? I'm going to show you, on top of many of the things that you are saying, by the way, amazing things, eh? You trust these people. ChatGPT. That's a good one. You trust those people. Do you know who they are? Yes, academics, many of you will not have a strong trust in academics. You might not be knowing who are those people, but you trust them. Do you know how you trust them? When they write rates and reviews. Every time you on Google see those stars, or in Amazon, or in the different marketplaces, every time that you evaluate the opinions and rates of the people, exactly, that has a huge impact in decisions. So you're trusting people you don't know, which gives their opinion on companies. So some research shows that this is already the second most important factor. And in some categories, it's even more important than price. So if I want to go to Delhi I need to sleep next to the airport, will I book this hotel? Well, I'm going to check the prices, the location, and then I'm going to read all those comments. Do you know Arina? Do you know Amit? Do you know Ravi? You don't, but you trust them. This is extremely important for marketing, okay? You are taking a lot of choices based on what those people say. And this is extremely important because if you're having 9 amazing reviews of the hotel, but 1 negative, do you know what you're going to be doing? 9 amazing reviews, 1 negative. Yes. What do you do? This is a bias, no? And psychologists and behavioral science are showing that. We have, this is called a kind of a negative bias, no? We are going to be focusing on gathering the negative information more. And by the way, some of you are saying we don't trust, those could be fake reviews. And that's why today they are credible. In the future, we don't know. I cannot say that in the future people will be trusting those reviews, but today they are. And actually 80% of the people will reevaluate their decision just after reading a negative review. So that's why this is so important. The third advice to develop a successful strategy is about content. What you tell in your marketing communication is extremely important because very often brands are talking a lot about themselves, okay? And you tell all the products that you're selling, where you can buy the products, claims about the product. But you need to be careful because the consumers are very busy. Your target group, it's super busy and doesn't want to pay a lot of attention. So you need to develop very good content. This is an example of good content. Chanel makeup. Chanel makeup is not describing all the products they are having. It's not telling you you can buy this makeup and this and that. What they are sharing is, hey, how to get the smoky eye effect. Okay, how to get the application you want, the effect you want with the new base skincare product. So how to use, how to get the final result. That's kind of what the consumers and our target audience is expecting. So don't focus on your communication on the brand. Focus about the unmet needs, how you can help them and facilitate it by the brand. And I have some other examples. The next advice is about interactivity. Like this class, we learn more when there is interaction. Brands impact much more when there is interaction. How can you make your marketing activities integrated? How can you make content communication so that it's interactive? Well, look at, and this is also called co-creation. Think about this marketing campaign from M&M's. Which is your favorite flavor? Crunchy raspberry, crunchy mint, or crunchy espresso? Vote the same way as you were voting today at the beginning of this class. People might be vote and sharing their perspective in an interactive way with the company. This is a great marketing campaign. And the best is Starbucks. Some years ago, Starbucks launched My Starbucks Idea and got 47,000 of coffee ideas. Okay, apart from many other things. Again, interactivity, a great way of impacting consumers. If you want to know the secret of interactive, is that it's proactive. You are going there to this page of Starbucks to share your idea. It's very different than receiving a message or when you are online from Starbucks. Okay, you go there, and that changes totally how you interact with the company and the brand. My next trend, and we are getting to the end, it's about immediacy. We are impatient. Okay, your target consumers in India are impatient. We want things now. We want things fast. We don't want to wait. So we are not having IT issues. Don't worry. I'm asking, what happens when you see that? How do you feel when you see this? This loading stuff. Annoyed, irritated, lose interest, you leave the website. Exactly. Because we are impatient. This could be only half a second, 1 second. We don't care. Some neuroscientists made a very funny research, which is testing exactly what happens in our brain when we are exposed to that. The level of stress was similar to watch a horror movie. Your heart rate increases 38%. Okay? 38. So, boom, 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 boom. It's not loading. Oh my God, it's not loading. So this is super important. It's very critical to be fast. This is a departmental store in US. They were launching a new e-commerce platform. Amazing platform, but it was taking half a second to load. Extra half a second. So imagine 1, 2, 3. Those were 3 seconds. So the new e-commerce was taking half a second. Do you know what happened? With a better e-commerce, double-digit sales decline. So be very careful if you are developing in a digital context amazing content, because what is going to be more important is to make sure that you impact fast, that the page is going super smooth, because in the moment that you start having any problem there with the new content, the people will quit and the people will leave. Okay. So yes, milliseconds, of course, the reaction time, what is the loading time? And if you are putting an amazing picture, high resolution, which describes beautifully your product, but it's going to impact the loading time in a mobile device, for instance, or with a fiber connection, internet connection, don't do it. Don't do it, because it's better to have fast content than better content. And My last trend is about social conscience. This is the topic of your challenge, okay? You're gonna need to work on how to impact social or environmental activities for Procter & Gamble in the challenge. But hey, respecting the environment is not an option anymore, especially for multinationals companies that have a global footprint. It's a must. It's relevant for every single sector. You can see the top companies in India associated for corporate social responsibility, and you can see many different sectors. This is relevant on a global level and on a local level across sectors. You're going to see examples on Patagonia in the case. So in this case, a clothing company, a textile company, how they are doing ESG activities, especially in the environmental, with many of those activities, which are impacting their corporate responsibility. But also we need to think that how consumers are, what consumers are expecting. And we are going to a future where this is, again, entry point. This is a company that for every pair of shoes, they give back one pair of shoes to people they need. People that need shoes, people that cannot afford them. These are social responsibility, but more and more, the societies and the target consumers are asking for more. And I'm going to talk about this example. I don't know if you know this guy. I don't know if you know this American football player. He's Colin Kaepernick. And he's very famous because many years ago, he decided to protest against police brutality with Afro-Americans in US by kneeling when the national anthem was playing in the NFL, in the National Football, American Football League. I don't know if you know the American culture, but it's super respectful of their symbols as a nation. So the flag, the national anthem, they are super respectful. So many Americans consider this act as not respecting the American values. And do you know what happened? This guy didn't play again. They were challenging this guy and he was fired. And this happened many years ago, before Black Lives Matter, before all those social movements in America. The amazing thing about this example is that this company, Nike, decided to launch this campaign. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. And this was amazing because I've been 20 years working in American multinational companies. And we always try to avoid scandals, avoid PR crises. We want not to be associated with that kind of problems. We want to manage those, to stay away. And this company decided to jump into the problem. They are the sponsors of the team, the personal sponsors, and they decided to launch this marketing campaign. What happened next? This was a huge risk, as you can imagine. Yes, and there was a lot of controversy, as some of you are pointing in the chat. So what happened next is this. People were sharing the social media their anger with the brand because of not respecting the American values. And they were burning shoes and cutting the socks and asking for boycott. Don't buy those products. And do you know what happened next? What happened next is that many other people from the other side started to praise Nike. They said that they never been so proud of this brand. The celebrities were jumping in. There was a huge backlash of people supporting Nike for taking a position. And this is my last point. The sales of Nike went up significantly. Why? Well, there was a huge risk for sure. And entering one of these controversial topics is a high risk for companies and a super high risk marketing activity. But remember that the trend number one, battle for attention. When this happened, everybody was talking about Nike. Everybody was discussing in US, discussing about what they're doing. So they got the attention again in a super smart way, and everybody was discussing. On midterm, the stock price was increasing versus competition, versus benchmarks. So this could be the future of some of those social activities, which is the companies will be asking for have a position in specific topics. And in some cases, those positions are going to be politically difficult. I'm going to ask you to search after this class for a Gillette advertisement that is called Toxic Masculinity, okay? And we will be sharing the link later on as needed. So this ad from Gillette was also talking a controversial topic, and boys will be boys, no? This kind of male way of doing things. Well, we have some people that participate in events there. This was a very controversial topic, and the net effect of the campaign was negative. They didn't manage to help sales nor brand image. So they lost because those high-risk situations are very difficult to control. And again, this is the new reality. You have Zelensky, president of Ukraine, asking companies not to sell in Russia. I work in Procter & Gamble. I work in Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson makes pharma products. You can imagine how difficult it is to take the decision not to sell pharma products to Russian people that are sick. Of course, there's an aggression to Ukraine, and there needs to find ways. But in the past, this was about the governments. But now, Zelensky was asking the companies to take a position. And again, if you are, I don't know if you are fans of soccer, but hey, look what happened in the latest World Cup, no? In Middle East. Qatar, many of the singers refused to play there because of ethical considerations. So this is going to be the future of social activities. This is going to be the future. Brands will need to have a position. It's not today. Today, you don't need to go and put Procter & Gamble in a high controversial in your marketing campaign. But I want to share this because it's the future of what is coming for companies. And that was a short masterclass. Normally, this is longer, but for the agenda today, we got half an hour. And I think that those were the topics that we wanted to talk. So first, give you a little bit of hints about what is marketing, and then share some of the key tips on how to get a successful strategy, especially in this context, which is super uncertain. So, would you be interested in participating in the challenge? Would you like to know more about how to help and guide P&G? So we are going to ask you to work in small groups and to propose to P&G a social or environmental marketing activity for India. The company wants to improve the awareness of their sustainability actions and the corporate image for India. And you're having a small budget. Just the budget is not super important. It's just to give you a reference point, okay? So you cannot go and put a massive TV advertisement in all the outdoor campaign. So it's a kind of control activity, okay? 30 approx. Again, small groups or individually, you might want to select one of those brands from Procter & Gamble. You might know some of those. You might also want to work with a corporate Procter & Gamble brand. That's up to you. On the right, you can see what is the work that P&G is doing in India on the community, on equality and inclusion, and on the environmental. So maybe you want to use that activities to launch a marketing campaign, to explain them, to maximize them, or maybe you want to do some new things. That's up to you. So I just wanted to put as background some of the things that the company is doing. And then in some weeks, you will need to be presenting in 4 or 5 slides and in 2 minutes video, your marketing proposal. Those are things that you might want to consider. Inside, no, the consumer idea, why this is relevant for your audience. Target, who is your audience? The key message, what you're going to be saying. And then if you want to tell us which vehicles you're going to use, is it in Google? Is it in outdoors, physical outdoors? Is it on social media? Which social media? Is it on YouTube? Tell us. Tell us. And if you want to show an example of visuals, more than welcome. Who's going to win? Well, we're going to look about original and creative ideas, also realistic, so that can be used, so that that makes sense, that it could be used in business. And also because you're going to be, the finalists will be presenting them, we're going to evaluate also the flow, the structure, and how you present. We have prepared a briefing document together with our seed partners, and that information will be available after this masterclass. And as I said, you'll have some days to work on that until February the 20th. Finalists will be sharing in an online session their proposals on the 7th of March. And as we said before, the winner will get a scholarship for the summer school program, and also the runners-up, those finalists, will be getting some help in the tuition, a scholarship for attending some of those master programs, where we might see again in Madrid, hopefully. There are some questions related to questions about not living in India. I think that's this is to register.
All right, so now you've heard everything that Professor Jaime has mentioned about the masterclass. I know you have a lot of questions coming in there, so I'm going to try and answer a lot of them that you might have in your head about timelines, about logistics, etc. So let's quickly first start with the timeline. Now, we completed this recording that you are seeing. I'm sure you're seeing this recording anywhere between the 9th of February, which is when this whole masterclass was taken place. I'm not sure if you joined it. If you haven't joined it, I'm sure now you've got a chance to view this, but also you'll be the deadline for you to submit everything in this case competition is 20th of February, and it's until 11:59 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So you have all of 20th February also to have this. After that, we will not be accepting any more applications for this business case competition. So please remember that the teams must submit their entry to the case competition by 20th Feb 11:59. The submission is a 2-minute video and a presentation. What should be in the presentation and the video, I'll come to little later on in this. Now we will give the shortlist. Now 20th Feb you submit. By 27th Feb is when we will announce the shortlist on Seed Global Education's Instagram page. So if you want to know if you're shortlisted or not, follow us on Seed Global @Seed Global Education on Instagram. So we'll let you know if you're going to be shortlisted or not. And finally, for we are going to shortlist the top 5 teams. So that's something that you need to be aware of, top 5 teams. And then on the 7th of March, so please mark the date, 7th of March is when the final presentation's there. So we'll reach out to the top 5 teams. If you are not available on the 7th of March, then we are going to move on to the next team. So please remember 7th of March, 7:30 p.m. once again, for about 2 hours. You'll have to keep yourself available from, let's say, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on the 7th of March Indian Standard Time, where we'll have the final presentation and awards. There will be some Q&A as well about your masterclass, and then the winner of that will be announced right that very evening about the for the shortlisted participants. Great. So little more information about it was, some of the more points that I wanted to cover is that the participation is either individual or in teams of 2. So the second person could be a friend, your colleague from your college, or anyone. Just remember that they need to be from India. So the participation and winners will only be from India. So one criteria is they should be an Indian. Ideally, if you are currently studying your undergrad or recently graduated, if you are currently in your undergraduate education or recently graduated, you are the perfect person to take part in this competition. So I would highly recommend you to do that. You will be submitting 2 things by the 20th of Feb. One is a presentation that will be in a PDF format itself. It needs to have only 5 slides. How many slides? 5 slides. Now this needs to include also your team name, and the contact details, etc. Keep it on either the first slide or the last slide. But remember, not more than 5 slides. If you have one slide more than 5 slides, also, if you have a sixth slide as well, that we will not take that into the shortlist. So ensure it's 5 slides, and you'll also submit a video that is not longer than 2 minutes. Okay, so a maximum 2-minute video. Now, what should this video contain? This should ideally be a summary of your response to the business case, right? It should also summarize what's there in the 5-slide presentation that you've done. This needs to involve you to be talking in front of the camera. So we'll also be looking at some of those things. So 2 things, one presentation and one 2-minute video. Now, do remember that the winning team will have access to the 100% scholarship for the IE Graduate Summer School program that happens in June or July of 2023. We'll share the final dates with you. Please do remember that the winning team will be able to take up this particular 100% scholarship. I'm going to put the link of that summer school also in the description and in the caption. So look at the dates. If you're available on those dates, then you should surely participate. If you're not available, you can still go ahead and participate. And if you come in second place, you'll also have access to the scholarship. So please remember this, the runner-up team will have an award of 20% scholarship. So that's a large amount as well, 20%. To study any of the master's programs offered by IE University. So as mentioned earlier, they have a lot of master's programs in the fields of business, science, technology, data analytics, marketing, consumer behavior, market research, finance, and a lot of other streams. So I would recommend for you to check that out as well. This is in teams of 2, or you can participate individually, which means if you win, a team of 2 wins, then both of them get the 100% scholarship, and both of them also get the 20% scholarship to the master's program. So the 100% scholarship is for the summer school, and 20% scholarship is for any of the master's programs that are going to be there. Right now, some more points to talk about the eligibility. Please remember, this is valid only for Indian students. Ideally, if you're a candidate that is intending to apply for a master's programs at IE University anytime over the next couple of years, this is a great opportunity for you to participate and try and win this case competition, so you can get to go to the IE summer school, experience what it is like to be at IE, and then you'll surely be interested in taking up a master's program there and save there much longer than just 3 weeks, which will ideally be for a year. It's ideal for candidates to participate who have graduated recently, like in 2021 or in 2022, or who are in their last 2 years of graduation. So if you're in your final year or pre-final year, if you graduate in 2023, or if you graduate in 2024 as well, this is a perfect opportunity for you to participate in this case competition. Some of the guidelines I wanted to mention about the video and the presentation: when you upload the file, first upload it on a Google Drive, and then share the URL with us in the answer box where you're supposed to put in the link. Please remember that the uploaded file needs to be accessible to everyone with the link. So don't just keep that link private. Whoever clicks on that link should be able to access it. So if you don't have that already ready, then when you by the time you submit it, and if those things are not taken care of, please remember it will be difficult for us to shortlist you if things like that are not taken care of. So please do that. You can also use a URL shortener, etc. Now, in case of any disputes, please remember that the decision of the case competition jury is going to be final and shall be binding. Please remember, at any time, if there is any bit discovery of misrepresentation or fraudulent submission, or if there is some bit of copying, etc., you guys are doing plagiarism, then IE University and Seed Global Education have reserved the right to withdraw the award from you. So please don't get into any of the unethical means. And In the description, you will find the link to the preliminary interest form. So if you are interested in participating in this case competition, please fill that form so that we can follow up with you. We'll also have the link to the submission. So where do you need to submit? The submission link is also going to be shared. Don't worry, we'll be in touch with you on email and WhatsApp if you have any more concerns about it. And finally, we'll also share links to the IE Masters programs that are going to be there on offer. So if you're looking to study the Masters program at IE, you can check that out. And also the link to the IE Summer School. So that's there in the description as well. I've spoken for too much. You've seen most of this long video. So thank you so much for doing that. Wish you all the very best to participate in this case competition. And I really hope that you have if you give up a wonderful entry, I genuinely hope that you can be one of the top 5 teams that could be shortlisted for the final on the 7th of March when you come and present. And when you come and do that on the 7th of March, if you win, just imagine 3 weeks in Madrid, Spain, and that's going to be one of the best 3 weeks of your life until that particular point. Because after that, if you consider doing a master's program at IE, it's going to be the best 1 year of your life. Great. Thanks so much, guys. My name is Sharang Thamade. I'm also going to put my email address in the chat, in the description. So if you are keen to write me an email to have any of the questions answered, I will be able to do that as well. If you want more brief about the case competition, there is a link for that as well. So a lot of links in the chat. All of them are going to be well written and well explained. So go through everything that's there. And I really wish you all the best for the case competition. Thank you and goodbye.